What's up, everybody? Steven here. Welcome back to yet another reaction. Today we are hopping into episode number 5 of season number 2 of Gilmore Girls, called Nick and Nora / Sid and Nancy. Now, is it Sid and Nancy, the crazy Sid and Nancy, or is it just two strangers called Sid and Nancy? I don't know. Hopefully you've been enjoying the series. If you have, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Head over to Patreon for the full, uncut, unedited reaction episodes extra early over there if you want them. If you don't want them, totally cool. Episodes here whenever they show up. So let's see. Last episode we went to Harvard. We kind of had small glimpses or small conversations of Lorelai and Rory's kind of behavior, or more Lorelai's behavior and Rory's and the town's kind of enabling of it all. We really didn't get anywhere with that. We got back and Lorelai wants to go all in on the end. She wants to make that her thing. She wants to own it, wants to run it. Besides that, we got some glimpses of what it would be for how Rory would be in school. How Lorelai would regrets not going to school, I guess, kind of a little bit. And yeah, that's where we're at. So we're going to hop in here, have a good time. Like, comment, subscribe, Patreon for the full reaction. Here we go.
Because you can't make something crispy that doesn't exist.
Why not?
Get him away from me, Taylor.
Have some respect. These boys.
My boy.
All of you pipe down.
Grups, huh?
Yeah, I'm working. What do you think I'm doing? Uh-huh. Do what you want. Make the arrangements. Now I'm working. We'll finish this later.
Does Luke have a brother?
Need some help? Frosted Flakes? Since when do you buy Frosted Flakes?
Oh my God, the worst.
Okay, now, what is going on?
Nothing.
Like who?
Like my nephew.
Oh, your nephew's coming to
He's
visit.
staying.
He's coming to stay.
Your sister's moving here?
Nope.
Well, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's why he's.
Nothing to get.
Look, the kid needs a bed. If
There
you want
is
to get
no-
him something inflatable, make it a blonde.
I'm getting
Oh,
a bed.
wow.
Temporary.
Hey, how does Jess feel about this?
I don't know.
Oh, yay. My best friends are here.
Will the rest of it go away?
Everything okay?
Yeah, Riff, everything's fine. We were just talking.
Talking, you two?
About the Franklin. Yes, it is. 4 o'clock. Sounds good.
So this Milo actor guy is your nephew. Interesting.
You 10?
Is that
Oh, wait, you need
cigarettes?
keys. No, I don't.
Okay. Look at the song. The song playing. Did she lie?
Pick a side, people. Oh,
Wow.
sorry. Hey,
I thought we were
You to join us, Miss
cool.
Gilmore.
I thought we were starting at 4.
No, we start at 3:15 sharp.
look, we're wasting time here.
Take a seat, Miss Gilmore.
We get a massage.
I'll do it.
Aromatherapy.
Okay,
Smell like
is
a
this
peach for
the
2
teacher
days.
next
I
to
said
us?
I'll do it,
Because
okay? I'll cover the paving.
Okay, good. Well then, I guess that's it.
the teacher doesn't find this weird, or whatever the hell this lady is. The head of the paper.
How evil you are. At the end of the year, on my high school transcript, it's going to say that I worked on the Franklin. So, if you'll
Nice.
excuse me, I have some reading to do on the origins of concrete.
Hey, Max. What the hell? You're still here? I thought you were written off the show.
Oh my god.
I wonder if you'll see Rory and be like,
You have no idea
ooh,
what I'm
pretty.
talking about.
Solidarity, sister.
Harris.
Oh, well, that I should have guessed.
I have really tall people sitting in front of me.
Rory.
You made
I'm
this.
in the hallway and I walked the other
She
way.
made it
and-
awkward.
Why?
I don't know. I thought that's what you'd want me to do.
Just because Max isn't a part of my life anymore doesn't mean he can't be a part of yours.
Me out with a shelf thing and his hands are full. Yeah. I'll tell him. Okay. Bye.
Dude, I'm taking that cigarette and I'm throwing it out the
She said
window.
to tell you that your stuff will be here on Friday. She invited us to her house tomorrow night for dinner. Her daughter Rory, who you didn't meet but you'll like, because she's a lot
Everybody
like
likes her?
Lorelai, but she's
Better.
got a slightly tighter grasp on reality. Anyhow, she'll be there, and you know, it'd be a chance for you to meet more people and.
Parking lot and turn it into a bittersweet piece on how everybody and everything eventually becomes obsolete, then you've really got something. Miss
Nice.
Gilmore, I was touched.
We're all to Paris.
I would strongly advise the next time you give Miss Gilmore something with a little more meat to it.
This is gonna be every day.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You must be very proud of yourself.
Well, I'm not hiding when I pass a mirror.
An in-depth, no-holds-barred interview.
Ooh,
Everybody wants it.
Max.
You have it. You're kidding.
Nope. Hadn't set up that interview with Mr. Medina as soon as possible.
What?
I know it's short notice, but I'd love it to lead off a first edition. After all, you of all people should be able to get the most in-depth story out of him, especially since
Jesus.
he and your mother are involved.
Jesus.
Sorry we're a little late.
Wow, aren't we hooked on phonics?
Oh, I read a lot. Do you read?
Not much.
You were reading a book earlier.
If you want, it's great. Shall we what?
So what?
Bail.
No,
Why?
because it's Tuesday night in Stars Hollow. There's nowhere to bail to. The 24-hour mini mart just closed 20 minutes ago.
So we'll walk around or sit on a bench and stare at our shoes.
Look, Suki just made a ton of really great food, and I'm starving, and though it may not seem like it right at this moment, it's gonna be fun.
Is he gonna grab a beer? Yes, he is. Will she yell at him if she sees him drinking? I don't know. Nice.
For me? Hey, thanks. And how comfortable it feels to have someone like Luke you can really depend on.
What, are you sleeping with him or something?
Whoa.
Excuse me?
I don't know, the whole starry-eyed, you're so much better off, just give it a chance speech. You're either really naive or you're getting some.
Jesus.
Mom or Luke. So why don't you Dr. Laura someone else?
I'm going inside. Stay out of my fridge.
Jesus. Ugh. Do you tell Luke? Do you not tell Luke? Do you tell Luke? Do you not tell Luke?
What are you doing talking to him about stuff like that?
I'm trying to
What?
help you.
I don't need your help. Getting a little tired of your condescending.
I'm not being condescending.
Oh, you have a kid,
What is
so you know
happening?
everything, right?
I have a kid, so yeah, I know a little more than you do.
You know, you ever think maybe you just got lucky with Rory? I mean, you did get pregnant at 16. That doesn't show the greatest decision-making skills.
What is happening? Jesus. Yeah, you took the whole wrong approach of that. Wow,
You're being
wow.
completely childish.
I'm not. Rory, this was a bad one, okay? This was not Nick and Nora. This was Sid and Nancy, and I'm not going in there.
But the coffee is in there.
Nick and Nora,
And it's
Sid and
Danish Day. Are
Nancy.
you seriously telling me they're gonna let
But
us
Nick
skip
and
a
Nora
pregnant on
are-
a Danish Day?
No, I'm not.
Good.
So go in there and order 2 coffees and 2 Danishes to go.
Coffees and 2 cherry Danishes.
Oh, and some napkins.
One of these is for her, isn't it?
Who? Oh, no. They're all for me. I am
For her.
super hungry today. I was debating
Okay.
ordering 3, but I'll tell you how I feel after 2.
Well?
He would only sell me 1.
Ah, didn't you say they were both for you?
Yes, I did. And he knew that I was lying.
Did you do the blinky thing? You always do the blinky
We do half
thing
the
when you're
coffee,
lying.
half
I didn't have
the.
to do the blinky thing. He knows you well enough
half
to
the
know that you're
Danish.
not going to go a whole day with no coffee, and especially no Danish. Why don't you go in there now and just make up?
Why don't you? Hey, kid. Do me a favor. Come here.
Oh hell no, that's not creepy at all.
Please.
Run away.
Luke's. What is it, Taylor?
Your
Slow
nephew
down, you're babbling.
did something stupid.
Well, how do you know it was Jess?
Hi.
I swore they wrote you off the show.
Because I can
No.
come back some other time.
This is fine.
All my experiences, even the ones that didn't turn out the way I wanted them to, I firmly believe they were all worth it.
Wow. That's a great mindset.
I really wanted you to be my stepfather.
Wow. That's
I just want you to know. I really wanted to be your stepfather.
Jesus. I don't know if we were at that level, but
So, you know, he owns the market.
If you say so.
He said you came in today.
You did.
And he said you took some money out of a little donation cup to help repair the bridge. I told him he was crazy, you wouldn't do that, you weren't a thief, that he was just...
It's not true.
That doesn't sound very convincing.
Look, what exactly do you want from me? You bring me here to this place, you put me in a school that says the Pledge of Allegiance in 6 different languages, 2 of which I've never heard of before.
That's really what you want?
Yes.
Fine, you got it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
wait, what just happened? Nice. Oh my god, that was amazing. Holy shit. That came out of nowhere, dude.
Nowhere in either Stars Hollow or its surrounding counties.
This is Luke. So I shoved my nephew into the lake.
I just pushed him in a lake. Jess. I got this call from Taylor that he thinks Jess stole the bridge money, and I went to confront him, and he was being impossible, and I just pushed him in a lake. Don't worry, Babette. I think you're going to see Pierpont again really soon.
Did he really?
Where are you going?
I have to take care of something.
I'll
see you tomorrow at the diner.
Why would Jess?
Right?
Tomorrow isn't Danish Day.
Just be there. Weekends are for chores and selected pre-approved outings.
Now you're gonna be this guy.
Kabbalah studies, freeway beautification projects, color me mine, pottery painting, all discussable options.
Wow, really?
You will not steal. You will pay back Taylor Dozy. You will graduate from high school, and you will return Pierpont to his yard.
Oh, Dean, this episode.
Hey.
Hey, yourself.
I didn't miss anything,
I
right?
needed something for school. What about you?
Oh, yeah. Same thing.
Uh-huh. So, that was quite a disappearing act.
Then I'll leave you this last little trick.
You bought a copy? I told you I'd lend you mine.
It is yours.
You stole my
it.
book.
No, borrowed it.
Okay, that's not called a trick. That's called a felony.
I just want to put some notes in the margins for you.
What?
Dodger.
Figure it out.
Oliver Twist.
All right, well, that was episode number 5 of season number 2. Solid, good episode. I'd probably give it somewhere in the range of an 8. Introduced to a new character called Jess. Actually, maybe I'll actually go a little bit, a really strong high 8, actually. That fight with Lorelai and Jess and Lorelai and Luke was actually pretty rock solid. The stuff with Max, with Rory was actually pretty good. I don't know, there was a lot of like story-based stuff that I was like really, really into. I mean, we didn't have anything crazy major happen except for the fights, but I was really into it. Interesting character, Jess. I'm not crazy, right? Rory and Dean are still together, right? I'm not forgetting something, right? Because they were together. Right? They were together for this, right? Crazy. I don't know. Hopefully I'm not crazy. I'm trying to think back. I'm like, they broke up, they got back together, they've been together. Luke wasn't in the last episode Dean wasn't in the last episode because he went to Harvard. Before that, we were on the bench, right, at the engagement party. And Dean was there. We seem to be on a good pace, so yeah, I'm expecting this to fall out really badly when Dean catches this guy who's clearly going to fall for the Rory. But yeah, we'll break it down now. I'll probably give it, like I said, between an 8 and a 9, somewhere in that range. I thought it was really good. We start off, we're at the diner. We're speaking about it's the beginning of school. Rory wants to go. Lorelai's taking her sweet ass time. Lane comes in. Lane wants some CDs next to Rory's school.
But when you're back to school,
Boy Scouts come in, and my God, Luke is me. Like, really, like the way he acts with these Boy Scouts and the way that he's being a smart ass. We hear him arguing on the phone, talking about, yelling at somebody. He gets upset. Actually, I can't really see the intro, but I would love to know is Dean no longer in the intro? Was Dean ever in the intro? Oh man. Nonetheless, we get here. It's the next day. We see Luke grabbing a bunch of stuff, going home. We find out, hey, his nephew's coming to stay. How long? Indefinitely. We don't really know how long because his sister's doesn't really pay attention. It's kind of all over the place, and it kind of leaves Luke having to try to rescue his nephew from his sister. We then get to school. Paris still hates Rory. The girls who are Paris's friends are kind of just going along for the ride. Paris is also very mean to those girls and very much a smartass. Doesn't really pay mind to anything they say. Makes you kind of wonder how this dynamic works. Rory tries to, say, hey man, let's work things out. Let's not be on each other's case this whole thing. We can make the paper great. Be amazing together. And Paris says, yeah, come at 4. That's when the meeting starts. We meet Jess, who's Luke's nephew. He's, let's just say, a bit of a wild card. Doesn't care about anything. Hates his mom. Hates the fact that he's here. I love the song that they chose here about Welcome to Hell. Rory waits outside at the thing, and bam, she's late. Now, she gets a little bit of a like looked at and some comments, and then she gets what is quote unquote the worst assignment of the bunch because she was late. Rory's a better person than me because I would have straight ratted her out. Went up to the teacher and said she told me the wrong time. She doesn't like. I would be all this stuff. But Rory did what she believes is right, and she's just gonna prove Paris wrong and do everything amazing. Not prove her wrong, but just be amazing. Paris sees her get into a little bit of an argument, or not argument, like a little bit of a stare, runaway situation with Mr. Medina. We then see Lorelai meet Jess, and it's not great. He's very quiet. He walks away. We then invite them to dinner. Rory talks about Paris being a pain. Luke is trying to handle his nephew the way he thinks he should handle him, letting his nephew do whatever. The mom calls. He doesn't want to talk to her. We're going to Lorelai's for dinner. One of the girls wants to make the paper, add some more modern things to the paper, like this whole situation of adding a gossip column, and Paris had to be a smartass and pretty much said no. Rory created an amazing piece of writing in the pavement story that they gave her, and Paris, of course, gives her the Medina story, which is not the best because it's gonna be awkward for her. Luke brings nephew over. Nephew's weird, or not weird, just being his rebel self, hates everything. Sees Rory, walks into the room, walks around. I kept wondering what he was reading. I thought it might have been like, I don't know, some sort of like journal that he might be writing in, but I don't know. He bails. He grabs a beer. Lorelai confronts him. Doesn't confront him. Makes a joke. Tries to tell him about how good it is here. Tries to relate to him, saying, this was me. I ran away, 16, all this stuff. And Jess pretty much said, "Are you sleeping with Luke? That's the only reason you're doing this." Like, he was in a very rude manner. Pisses off Lorelai. Lorelai yells back. He comes inside, tells Luke about it. Luke's like, "Leave him alone." Like, defending his nephew, even though his nephew is kind of a jackass. Saying, "Stay out of these things. I don't need your help." Because, you got pregnant at 16. Goes to some low blows. The next day, Lorelai wants coffee and a Danish and can't get it. He's hurting. He's hurting for the coffee. We then get Rory going inside. The situation where she's trying to get the coffee for her mom, and doesn't work out well. We then find out somebody stole something from the store. We have the conversation with Medina. Now, there was something here that I found that was a bit much. So Rory says, "I really wanted you to be my stepfather." It's not a line that at all makes sense to me based on the way we saw them hang out. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the show didn't let us hang out with them enough to get that be the vibe that they would have. You know what I mean? Like, I really wanted you to be my stepfather. I really wanted you to be my step daughter, or whatever, stepfather thing. Great line, and it would have fit better if we would have gotten more time with Medina. Like, maybe if we didn't rush the wedding in the beginning of the season and we kind of let that thing breathe and let the engagement breathe for a little bit, that could have been a moment, right? They could have made it more emotional. This maybe is the closure that the show wanted to give of Medina, because I thought he was gone. I thought he was going to be gone. Like, oh, he's just off the show now. Maybe this is their version of closure. Kind of put a nail in that story thread and kind of move forward. It was good. I just wasn't buying it. Based on what we've seen from the characters. Luke yells at his nephew about money and all that other situation. We then have him saying, if you stole it, I won't say. I mean, if you tell me you didn't steal it, I will believe you. All this stuff. He said, "Leave me alone. I don't want to be." They get into an argument, and Luke straight up. I want to see the scene again because it's funny.
You got it. Thank you. You're welcome.
Oh, I was like, what interesting. And then he just straight up. That shit came out of nowhere. Then Lorelai reading what Rory's writing about Medina. Lorelai makes a little comment about, man, I sure know how to dump them or whatever. Luke comes over, starts saying about how you were right. I went over my head. I don't know why I could do this. Lorelai says, you wanted to try to help him. And then we have him come over and give his nephew all the stuff to get rid of smoking, throw the cigarette out the window, which is what I would have did. And finds the gnome, tells him that he has to pay it back, put the gnome back. He walks out. He runs into Rory. They have some conversations. He does magic tricks. She said, if you will never do that again. We find out he reads books. I'm guessing that's kind of his escape. And he looks at her and interest. I'm telling you, him and Dean are gonna fight. Is Tristan done? Was Tristan a senior? I'm very curious about that. But yeah, that's the episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Head over to Patreon for the full, uncut, unedited reaction episodes extra early over there. If you want them, if you don't want them, totally cool. Episodes here whenever they show up. But yeah, I'm gonna get out of here and I'll talk to you guys later.